Hey guys, and welcome to my stimulus package update and stimulus check update. Wow, I haven't said those words in so long. I want you guys to know that I missed you more than you missed me, and I'm happy I'm back here for you with another video just to give you my perspective on everything that's been going on.
Did you even know that this was a thing? I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not even realize that this was a thing until I came across it today. So apparently there's this freedom index. And basically what it does is it goes across the entire world and it gauges all these different countries and gives them a freedom reading, basically telling us across all of these different parameters that are within the reading, gives us an idea of how free each individual country is based on the parameters of this actual report. Well, here's what they found. In 2021, the Freedom Index found that United States ranked number 20 in the world for the most free country out there. However, can you guess what the reading is going to be for 2022? Again, I know this is controversial. I'm not going to go down that road, but rather I'm going to give you the details of this freedom report. The index is now reading at 25. In other words, the United States has lost 5 places when it comes to freedom in countries around the world. So, very interesting, right? And again, there's a variety of different parameters that this report leans on to get all this information, but essentially, this is the lowest reading the United States has ever had for freedoms in this country. So again, very interesting. Just want to let you know about this report. Never even knew it was a thing until today when I came across this information, but very interesting reading about it. So, next, let's quickly talk about this new announcement out of the IRS. So the IRS started accepting tax returns a couple weeks ago on January 24th, and now they've come out letting us know how things are going. First off, they're still delayed by 24 million tax returns from last year. That is massive. 24 million returns have not been processed from a year ago from the 2020 tax return filing season in early 2021. So they're still sitting back 24 million returns there. However, they've processed so far this year a few million returns, 4.3 million returns so far this year out of the 16 or a little bit over 16 million returns that have been submitted so far, and they've submitted out over $9 billion in money in the form of tax refunds. The average refund is coming in so far at $2,201 so far, remember. So again, that's probably going to change. They've only processed a very small fraction of the number of returns that will be processed this year, but that is the average return as of right now, just $1 over $2,200. So that's where we're sitting as of right now. Now, one more thing. If you're somebody who needs to file your tax return and claim the Earned Income Tax Credit, the EITC, or the the other lump sum payment of your child tax credit payments, by law, they cannot distribute those payments until after February 15th. So just keep that in mind. And what they're saying right now is that according to the IRS, they're saying that if you're expecting either of those, the EITC payments or the child tax credit lump sum payment, you can expect those refunds sometime in early March, is what they're saying. Now remember, one more note on tax returns. If you do file a tax return, they typically say you should receive your refund within 21 days after receiving your, after submitting your tax return. So if it's been less than 21 days, don't even try to call the IRS. They're basically just going to tell you it hasn't been processed yet, okay? But after the 21 days, then they kind of say, well, if you don't get your return then you can call the IRS and ask them what's going on. All right, so let's keep moving on here. There's a lot more to talk about, so let's keep rolling here. All right, so let's quickly talk about some new information that was just released today out of a top Federal Reserve official. So this top Federal Reserve official came out in an interview earlier today and recognized that this inflation is eating people up right now. In fact, the low income and the moderate income people. He went on to say that people are unhappy right now and consumer confidence is declining. Well, yeah, we could have told you that like 6 months ago. I don't think any of us are too surprised by this right now. But yes, the top Federal Reserve official is saying we've got to get this inflation a handle on it right now. This last reading of 7.5% year over year is nuts. It's a very high reading, and the Federal Reserve needs to step in and get inflation back down to about that 2% range, which is the focus for the Federal Reserve. They're sitting about 5.5% higher versus where they actually want to be. So yeah, they've got their work cut out ahead of them, right? So The way that they can do this, according to this top Federal Reserve official, is by raising rates up to at least 1 percentage point by July. So again, that's going to be a lot going forward here. We'll have to see what happens with the Fed here with their next coming meeting. So let's quickly move on here and talk about what Democrats are now saying about progressive Democrats and what it leads to as far as the stimulus package. So basically what it's come down to, the moderates are now blaming the progressives for not getting anything done when it comes to the stimulus package. Now let's be real. Who can we really blame when it comes to the stimulus package? The answer is, well, I don't really know. I don't really think there's anybody in particular, not necessarily one person. I know we could probably say Joe Manchin, but realistically, is it really him at the end of the day? Because here's the thing. The Build Back Better agenda did have some snags within it. At the end of the day, was this really going to be the package that was going to save all of us? Was it really going to have the cure-all for all of us? You know, I think we could look at it and say, well, it's going to have a lot of provisions in there, but did it contain a stimulus check? No, it didn't. Did it contain money for us in some way, whether it's universal basic income, guaranteed basic income, monthly payments, anything like this? Well, no, it didn't. Would it have led to more inflation? According to what we were seeing, and $2 trillion more added on to everything right now, it probably would have cranked up some inflation even hotter, right? So, at the end of the day, I guess, you know, we could all say, you know, maybe Joe Manchin, but at the same time, realistically, many of the Democrats are pointing the finger at progressives, saying that they weren't the ones that were willing to negotiate. They were stuck on their numbers around that $2 trillion number, and therefore the whole thing kind of collapsed on itself because there was no leeway to actually negotiate through the provisions here, rather than just being stuck, just saying, this is it, it's our way or the highway. And then, well, we can see how that played out, right? They took the highway rather than their way. So, again, that's just kind of some of the talk that's being tossed around right now in regards to the stimulus package and the progressives. All right, so one more note here. Let's keep rolling. There's a lot. All right, so let's quickly talk about this new $500 check. In fact, yesterday I talked about a separate one in the state of Maine. This is totally separate. This is out of the state of Massachusetts. So if you're in Massachusetts, pay attention because this one is for you. So Massachusetts has announced that they're going to be sending out a $500 one-time tax rebate check. Now this is, you could call it a stimulus check, you could call it a tax refund, you could call it a tax rebate. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what it's called. It's essentially just $500 coming from the state, and they're allocating $4 billion to get this job done. Now, well, they have $4 billion essentially that was allocated to them from the last stimulus package, and that's where they're getting money from this. Now, this is going to be focused on the lower income individuals. Now, if you're in the state of Massachusetts, what I would say is check out the website. I'm going to give you here in just a second, and you can check your eligibility to see if you would be eligible to receive this one-time $500 check. So, the website is, you ready for it? Now, this is just for Massachusetts. www.mass, so mass.gov/premium pay. I'll tell you that one more time. www.mass, so mass.gov/premium pay. PREMIUMPAY. So, I don't know, kind of a funny website right there, but that's the website that you can go to and check your eligibility if you are in that state to see if you can grab that one-time $500 payment. So, here's the deal. I know that there's a lot of these different checks coming out right now, but we're in the tax filing season right now. States were just given billions and billions of dollars. We're on our way to an election year here. We're in an election year. The midterm election's coming up a little bit later this year, and states are going to be giving out a little bit of that money going forward as stimulus checks, tax rebates, tax refunds, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of these popping up. Like I said, I talked about that one out of Maine yesterday. Here's one out of Massachusetts. There's a number of different states out there right now giving a variety of different payment amounts out to their citizens as a result of those billions of dollars that they got from the last stimulus package.
Alright guys, this is all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really missed you. Hopefully I'll see you here again very, very soon. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything we talked about here in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you all. Please hit the like button on the video, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notifications bell to be notified whenever I publish new videos for you. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.